Why would you make this? Hello, everyone. Welcome and thanks for listening. This is Why Would You Make This Season 3, The Asylum Years. The only podcast to have existed for 7 years, but hasn't been able to gather a real following, which makes you ask the question, why would you make this? I am Jimmy Time. I'm joined by my co-host, Brother Skylar. How are you?
I'm being Brother Skylar today. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right, I guess. We're also joined once again by J Delta Wagwan.
Wagwan.
So, during Season 3, we are taking you through National Wrestling Alliance total nonstop action weekly pay-per-view shows, now known as TNA The Asylum Years. This episode is NWA TNA pay-per-view number 5, which aired July 17th, 2002. Unfortunately, I double-checked my research, and I am not sure whether or not this is the second or third week where they are in City Auditorium, which is now known as Nashville Auditorium, in Nashville, Tennessee. Which means I am also not sure if this is the second or third week where they somehow managed to draw 2,000 people and only make $11,000. So, I'm hoping second. Regardless of that, I can confirm they are definitely 2+ million in the red right now. Originally thinking that they could break even by making $50,000 a show. They have since restructured their financial plan to be based around breaking even with $15,000 of buys per show.
But they can't make that.
No, they haven't made that. Yeah, they're only making 11. I know. It's not the best plan. All right. So, yeah, if you think that little bit of information is crazy, so let's get into our crazy past.
Wait a minute. What happened that got you so crazy?
The original midget killer, Puppet the Psycho Dwarf, wants to start the show with midget wrestling, but has since settled for making midgets bleed because they're stealing his screen time. Next, Alicia keeps demanding money from men, but sometimes they're not upset about it. Next, not an athlete, K-Crush does not like hearing about race car driving, but has since been humiliated by a NASCAR driver, Hermie Sadler, every time since. Next, Taylor Vaughn is Miss TNA.
Who?
Yeah. However, other women have been being booked more than her, like Francine, which of course brings us to Ed Ferrara keeps touching Francine's boob, sometimes because she makes him, and regardless of that, Francine keeps beating him with her belt.
It's like a magnet. He's drawn to them.
But also sometimes they go over to him and lay on top of him.
That's how magnets work. It's both ways.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, next is the tag division. Still, Buff Bagwell has gone home to rethink his career, or maybe just home for the day. We don't know.
His name's Marcus.
That's right, his name is still Marcus, and I still forget that. Oh, I'm pretty sure if I said Marcus has gone home, you would go, who is that?
It's much more marketable.
Oh, Marcus is, that's true. Think of the shirt, Marcus. Next, the Dups will fuck their own sister/cousin, but won't wrestle guys who fuck other men / their own brother, which, as I very poorly explained the last episode, it's the Rainbow Express that have the gay gimmick that is very incorrectly reported as being a gay brother gimmick, when in reality, they are probably just gay men who are posing as brothers in order to keep their job. Did I explain that any better than I did last week?
No, everyone followed it because none of us here are stupid.
That's right.
All right, well, regardless of any of that, it's also a possibility that that's not why the Dups don't want to wrestle. They might just not want to wrestle because they're not really trying to go after it that hard. So
yeah, I don't see them doing anything really at all. They had a match. Did they have more than one match televised?
Not positive.
Getting paid for the night off.
Yeah, well, I mean, can't complain about that, except here I am. Next, Mortimer Plumtree owns his former bullies, the Johnsons, or does he? The answer is no.
No.
And with that, the Johnsons are gone from TNA, and it's the end of this group. Storyline officially over.
Yep.
This is the first storyline that has had an official end.
But it wasn't an end.
They went away to work on themselves for a while.
What is that though? What does that mean?
They went away to train. Also, they went away to go just jack off by themselves.
It's like
'cause
you
they're
just left a
Johnsons.
letter to your girlfriend. Sorry, I'm just gone. And like you didn't see. There's no conversation. There's just no. I'm gone. Bye.
Yeah.
Well, how do you go and get milk and cigarettes? You leave a note.
Duh.
You leave a note and don't come back.
Why is that the terminology?
I mean, that's why I don't smoke or drink milk. Because I don't want to abandon my family.
I intend on coming back every night. I will not buy an ounce of milk and risk this family.
Next, who beat Cowboy James Storm and Wildcat Chris Harris to a bloody pulp on the third pay-per-view show?
They better not drop this.
We still don't know. Yeah, we still don't know. Next, is AJ Styles a glory hog, or is Jerry Lynn a disrespectful pervert?
What did he say?
What?
What did he say to Goldie? Suck it or something? Put it in your mouth?
Open your mouth and say, ah.
Yeah.
Next is the X Division. The Flying Elvises are the X Division, even if they have to take it by force.
Sonny Siaki's the X Division.
Yeah, well. Next, the world title scene. Brian Christopher has won the unofficial title of the Real Athlete, but has since dropped it and his name to be known as Brian Lawler, a name chosen to distinguish himself from his father, Jerry Lawler.
But that's the same name. Moving on.
Monty Brown wants Ken Shamrock's NWA title, and Ken Shamrock has responded by saying, make it official, and you're on.
And I love Monty Brown.
We'll see where it goes. That happened on the third show, so. Next, James Mitchell wants to control the NWA heavyweight title as per the request of his god, who may or may not be himself.
Wait, yeah, because he's God, so he has a God himself?
Yeah,
God
maybe.
has a God.
God has a god.
Yo, who made God? You telling me another God didn't make a God?
That's that
Please.
song go, my God is an awesome God who also has a God above him, and above him
No,
is
it's-
another God
Well-
above. That's probably a fourth God.
That's a different religion, actually.
Oh, is that not? Oh. Scott Hall was put on a stretcher by Brian Christopher, K. Crush, and Jeff Jarrett, and he promised to take them all out one by one with something special for Jarrett last. And then finally, Jeff Jarrett will not be screwed over again, like he already has been by Jackie Fargo, Toby Keith, Scott Hall, NWA President Jim Miller, and NWA Vice President Bill Behrens. Also, maybe, kinda, sorta, he might have attempted to murder Jackie Fargo, Jim Miller, Scott Hall, and Bill Behrens.
Somebody keeps, like, tying up someone in the backstage,
Yeah.
writing F-U on their belly.
Right. Yes. I don't know if you will agree with this, but I agree that when a man is on a stretcher and you push him off a platform while he's laying on that stretcher, that's attempted murder.
It's definitely assault. I don't know, murder.
Ooh, you need a better lawyer.
If you beat that man within an inch of his life and then they put him on the gurney and then you pushed him off the gurney, I think that's murder. I don't think you want him to live and think about it. All right, that's our crazy past. So then, well, before we start the show, we got to do dark matches. Dark matches come before the show, right?
Oh,
Right? Technically?
technically.
It's not part of the show.
It's not technically part of the show. You miss them, you don't care, right? So for the dark matches, we have the Lost Boys, Azrael and Gabriel. I looked this up. This is not the Azrael that was on AEW recently. Also, the Azrael that you and I know from indie scene around here.
Oh, Azrael.
Not,
yeah.
not that guy.
Devil horn guy.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
that guy, apparently. Different. Apparently, there's two Azraels in the wrestling world.
Oh, of course. I mean, with a name like that.
Somehow they beat...
I mean, they're fighting Mark and Jay Briscoe.
Oh, and they beat them, too.
Oh.
They beat the Briscoes. Yeah, so apparently they're very good at their job.
And we
And
never
then-
heard of them again.
The other dark match, not good for them. Bo and Stand Up beat Mike Rapata and Big Bully Douglas. Yeah, Big Bully Douglas.
So they do wrestle.
So they do wrestle, but dark matches. Like I said, we're not really seeing them. Let's start the show!
Is that the music? Am I doing the right
Yes,
one?
I'm pretty
Okay,
sure it's
yeah.
it. Okay, again, I'm confused about this. So we get a cold open to the show because we get like the theme song after this. So this is a cold open. We recap Jeff Jarrett's tantrum of terror for the last 4 shows, which is immediately followed by a segment labeled Earlier This Week, where Ken Shamrock is being harassed, she's just calling his name, by Goldilocks in a public park. Ken screams, "Back off, bitch!" and threatens to attack everyone in the park if she doesn't leave him alone. Ken leaves, and Goldie gives a and shrugs into the camera. Recap length, or I should say tantrum of terror length, 1 minute and 2 seconds. Interview length, 26 seconds, if you want to call that an interview. Full cold open length, 1 minute and 28 seconds. Your thoughts? None?
I like her as a prop,
Oh.
Goldie, because of her hair.
Right.
Just like emphasizes his words when he pops.
That
Her
happens
hair, like,
with a couple of wrestlers.
whiplashes
When
back.
when they talk to her face and they pop those P's and B's,
like
you hear
that.
her, you see her hair just like,
I like that. Other than that, I hate her.
oh, you hate Goldie in this segment.
All around.
All the time, all right.
Isn't Shamrock supposed to be a face? Like, aren't we supposed to like this guy?
That is my understanding, yes.
Well, I
Right.
think they're trying to cater to like a different audience, like the male.
Like a man's man.
Yeah.
Like,
I,
grab titties and beat people and
I don't think they're expecting
with
kids to be
titties,
like,
oh.
yeah.
You grab titties and you beat people with them. Like a man.
be a man.
Remember sock and bumpers when you were a kid? It's just like
It's
that.
just like fighting with titties. You
Oh.
feel like a robot, you fight like a robot. My thoughts are what a gentleman Ken Shamrock is for threatening to attack other people, but not her. So kind. So noble.
Well, I mean, come on, he's a real man.
He is a man. Okay, so the show open. We get snarky TNA commentary with him screaming, "That was certainly a different side of Ken Shamrock."
Was it?
That's what
That's
he's-
the only side I've ever seen of Ken Shamrock. Where he's just screaming and trying to beat everyone up.
He's just being snarky. Well, that was different,
Well,
wasn't it?
this time he threatened to beat people up. He didn't beat anyone up.
That's true. He also mentioned that tonight we find out who the heavyweight title #1 contender is, Jeff Jarrett or Malice. We jump to the back, and Scott Hall and Jeff Jarrett are fighting. They toss each other into guardrails and toss tables into the sky before security breaks them apart as Bill Behrens says Jeff Jarrett has forfeit his match tonight and he's out of here. Commentary welcome 50 seconds. Brawl length 1 minute 21 seconds. Full segment length 2 minutes 11 seconds. Thoughts?
Looked to me like Scott Hall threw the first punch. Like, they cut in and Scott Hall is mid-punch, so as far as I'm concerned, Scott Hall started the fight, and we're just suspending Jeff Jarrett for no reason.
Yeah,
Right.
Jeff Jarrett has a legitimate gripe here.
Why does Scott Hall not get suspended?
Well, see, that my only proof that Bill Behrens would have that Jeff Jarrett could have started this fight is that Hall promised to take the 3 men out in a very specific order, leaving Jarrett for the last. And it's not Jarrett's time yet.
Jarrett was in full gear. All he talks about is getting a title shot, and he was going to the ring most likely. Come on.
Yeah.
That was baloney.
I know. No, I'm 100% with you guys.
I was absolutely on Jarrett's side on this one.
Yes. All right, so we get the welcome segment. We go to commentary, who marvel over what just happened as TNA welcomes us to the show. TNA Ferrara and the Zoot Suit Daddy, Don West.
What was that?
Yo,
They no-sold him, too.
he no-sold it, and everybody no-sold everything. All right, yeah, so I don't know, there wasn't much to talk about this time when we talk about their clothes, but this would be the time, I guess, and we said that Don West is sadly wearing the same suit that he wore, the second or third episode.
After a comment like that, too, and he's wearing the same clothes. Dirty, unwashed. It looked unwashed.
It did look a little unwashed. It looked a little dirty. I'm not going to lie about that. Ed Ferrara, though, was wearing yet another, faux silk print shirt with yet another, gangster rapper yo-yo-yoing towards the viewer of the shirt. With pants, I thought they were kind of, interesting. Pants that fade from, black to red with words on them that are also faded from black to
missed
red.
his pants, actually.
Yeah, it was when he went up.
Yeah,
during the
I know
female
exactly what
segment,
you're talking
and,
about, but I missed that.
very white shoes. The whitest shoes I've ever seen on TV. This might be the closest to Ed Ferrara's actual wardrobe. So, today says we're supposed to start with Malice versus Jarrett, but Jarrett was forced to forfeit. What happens now? Someone tell me in my headset! Enter Father James Mitchell in the new church. Father Mitchell says Malice wins, but he still wants blood, so he will fight anyone. Lights go out. Lights come on. Sabu.
I was not expecting that.
No.
That blew my mind.
Yeah. When the lights went out, I was like, well, it's not The Undertaker. And it's not Sting.
Could be Sting.
I'm out of guesses. That was it.
I thought it might have been the end of the promo, because that's usually their thing with the lights. They're just like, yeah, we're leaving now. That's it.
We know that it's Sabu because commentary screams nothing but his name for 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah?
They do. Sabu!
Oh, when the lights come back on.
Sabu! It's oh, do you know that is Sabu? What's he doing here? Sabu! Tanae mentions that Sabu did have a match later on tonight, but it wasn't this one.
Yeah, but they never advertised it to us, right?
Yeah.
I was completely surprised to see him.
Kayfabe question: who's out of a match right now?
Oh, yeah.
There's
He
a
was
guy that
scheduled
was
later
supposed to-
tonight.
Yeah. That's done now. Who was that guy that was supposed to wrestle?
Well, it was definitely promoted that he was going to be in action, so I wonder if they have a card that they put out or a poster.
No, when
like-
you don't know, you just
No.
say Sabu in
Yeah,
action.
Yeah.
Hey, signing autographs at that table is action. So,
Yeah. I mean, he sang the word action, right?
Action, 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 action.
He didn't even sign his name. He just signed the word action.
I don't think that's Sabu. So the match it's like this weird back and forth approximation of a wrestling match where one guy takes 2 or 3 bumps and then cuts the other guy off, and then he takes a couple bumps and then he just cuts the other guy off, and there's no real flow to the match. It's just your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn.
Yeah.
And the reason for this, I don't know if you caught this, is shown like 4 or 5 times throughout this match. It's because Tempest, the guy on the outside, not in the match, is the one calling the match.
Oh, yeah, I 100% noticed that.
So they
100%.
have to keep going out of the ring and talking to him about what the next spot is. I don't know how you didn't notice it, because there's one point where the camera zooms in on Tempest, like choking Sabu,
Yeah.
but you can tell they're talking hard.
I mean, I noticed that there were a couple times where Malice was just like outer space, like totally just like, okay, waiting for the next spot. There's a point where he's outside the ring and Sabu is just selling inside the ring, and they're just waiting.
Right, yeah, I have
And
that
waiting.
here where it's like we get this awkward moment where it looks like Malice has no clue how a ladder works or what to do with it, which way is up, or like, and he puts it down and picks it back up again and tries to figure it out.
Oh, yeah,
and-
that's when he has no idea what the spot is. He's
Yeah.
supposed to bring the ladder in. He's like, am I supposed to bring it in? I don't know. And he throws it
Got
down. He picks it
nothing.
back up, and he throws it back down.
It was a real mess of a
Like,
match.
every 4 minutes, Crowbar, like, awkwardly interjects himself. And
Right.
Just like, we're going to brawl. This is the next spot.
Yeah, now that you say it, I have Crowbar so blatantly calling spots written in my...
Yeah.
Because I remember there's a part on the outside where they're fighting.
He goes
and-
for like an Irish whip or something.
Yeah.
To nothing.
Oh, man.
An Irish whip to the ramp.
I'll honestly say, like, it seems like everybody in general in this time seems to have the issue of like, all right, we're gonna do a spot. I'm gonna Irish whip you, which means I lean in super close, sweet whispers into your ear, and here we like. There's a lot of guys getting paid to be on TV here, just blatantly leaning over and nibbling the ear of the other dude.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It is worth mentioning as soon as possible because it is the whole match.
Yeah.
It is the entire match.
There was even one point where Crowbar came over with a chair, and he was like, take this chair. I'm hitting you with it. And he grabbed it. He was like, oh, no, he took it from me.
There was a lot of spots in this match that were bad, but that was the one where I was like, oh, that is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh, burn the footage. Don't. Yeah. Slick Sucks Watch. New segment. Anytime Slick sucks and we watch it. Ooh.
Fuck that guy.
Ooh, fuck that guy. Yo, Malice takes his shirt off and throws it into the air, and Slick watches it fly into the air and then tries to duck it as it lands.
What? Terrified of it.
I don't know why. And that happened while, because he took his shirt off, threw it in the air, and then started punching Sabu. Nope, I gotta duck this. I don't care that you're punching a man. I gotta duck this thing.
Hate
That
it.
is very shortly followed by Sabu throws a chair at Malice, and Slick cartoonishly wobbles around the ring like he got hit. I fucking...
He does that every single time he's out there.
I hate him.
He sells every punch
him.
and grabs onto the ropes.
The whole thing was a mess. The whole thing was a mess. One of my favorite spots was outside. Malice puts the ladder on the guardrail and the apron,
Yeah.
and he picks up Sabu to drop him on him, but every time he picks Sabu up, he almost kicks the entire front row in the head with Sabu's feet. Like, you could see some people like dodging it and ducking it. And then, of course, Sabu's face gets busted open in a way that looks like he did not want it to happen.
Oh.
Like, it looks like he did not expect it or want it to happen.
I wasn't sure if he did it himself or not.
No, he didn't. I
didn't?
am intimately familiar with that exact injury.
Yeah.
He definitely just came face first. It was the bridge of his nose,
Yeah.
right on the edge of the ladder, and
He was holding it for the rest of the
what
match.
you see his face because he comes up and he touches his nose and just goes, "God damn it!" And like his you just see he's like, "Man, this wasn't supposed to get hurt."
Yeah.
And I think earlier in the match he does like the most obvious blade job, or maybe it's later. He does the worst blade job. So like. The blade comes off his wristband or the boot and is sitting next to him, and you see him reach and grab it, and then a minute later, the camera zooms in and watches him poke himself in the forehead and give himself the
That I mean, two in one show, but that again reminds me of like the last AEW show I watched that doing this gimmick where a guy, Anthony Ogogo, he punches you in the gut because he's a heavyweight Golden Gloves boxer. He punches you in the gut, and then you're like, and you throw up blood. Like the last event they did, somebody on the outside handed, I think, one of Billy Gunn's kids the fucking blood packet,
and he popped it,
and he dropped it, and then he had to like fake pick it up, but it was so obvious that he picked up this tiny blood capsule, and then immediately. I was like, ooh, ruined that spot. I'm so sorry, kid.
Yeah,
I'm
kill
sorry.
that guy's whole gimmick.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's not a very good fucking gimmick to begin with. I'm sorry that he had to deal with that, but ooh. So, like I said, we're all over the place. Sabu does the normal things he does, throws a chair at your face, jumps off a chair onto the ropes. He gets pops for it.
Yeah, I wasn't
It's
really...
normal stuff. He does the one thing where he throws a chair at the back of your head, but the front of your head gets in the way. Because holy shit.
Yeah, it's pretty
He's
good.
throwing it.
So, basically the end spot is Malice no-sells a chair shot, drops Sabu with a spine buster, climbs the ladder, Sabu pushes Malice off the ladder, outside of the ring, through a table.
That big boy, woof.
It was a big drop. Sabu climbs, struggles, grabs the clipboard, wins. Post-match, rest of the New Church immediately attacks Sabu, but a moonsault takes them out, but then Malice returns. Chokeslams Sabu off the apron through a table. Malice has Sabu's blood literally on his hands as the New Church pose around the carnage. If you remember, this started off with a welcome to the show. That lasted 42 seconds. The promo length was 1:10. The match length was 13:23. The post-match beatdown was 1:46. Your opening segment was 18 minutes and 12 seconds. Your thoughts?
I feel like the cards are always booked backwards.
Yo, 100%.
Why is this the opening match? I don't understand it.
It's kind of weird because last time we were complaining they should open the show with the long match. So like, but at the same time, this shouldn't be the main event style match. Shouldn't be the opener like that. And
last show they opened with the tag title match.
Right.
This show they opened with
this one,
a TLC match for the #1 contendership of the heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
With Sabu, who's like a huge name, appearing for the first time in the company, right?
Yeah.
And he's opening, and everyone's supposed to remember all this through the rest of the card.
Like, who's fucking booking this, man? It's like, are they booking this because Sabu has to get to another show, like, that he has to work the actual main event for? Because if that's the case, I'm pretty sure Impact should be taking priority. That should be the one, okay, we main event that, and we work, Gruff's indie show.
Yeah. I know 2020 it is, maybe he shouldn't, maybe TNA isn't the priority, but at that time, TNA should have been the priority in that sense.
And, I mean, throughout the match, they do a distraction spot, but there's no DQ. They're hitting each other with ladders and chairs.
Yeah.
And then Slash and Tempest are outside of the ring, Then the match ends, and they're like, "Yeah, now we're gonna get him."
It's
Yeah,
already,
they could have
It's-
ran up and got him. Yeah, I didn't understand that at all.
So you're telling me James Mitchell, you're telling me, oh, James Mitchell is incompetent, right? Because they had a number one contendership spot. He blew it, and not only did he blow it, as he was blowing it, the chance he had, his two other goons, hey, hold him down while this guy climbs and gets the thing.
yeah,
Mhm.
And it
nothing.
didn't.
No, yeah, it's no, yeah, 100%. Every week they consistently present us with Malice, the world's biggest goon. Like it's just he's nothing. He's
Yeah.
nothing at this
Yep.
point. Also, we don't have to comment on this. I just want to say Slash. He's called Slash because he has a big old slash over his eye. This week he came out with an eye patch over that slash. You couldn't see it. He ruined his fucking gimmick.
Oh, he's patched now.
Now he's patchy. Yeah, he's patches or whatever. It's the I. Segment 2! Jeff Jarrett and Bill Behrens are still outside arguing about if Jeff Jarrett is having a title match tonight. The only highlight from my perspective is that it is raining and Bill calls Jarrett a bastard.
wait. Is it?
Segment length, 25 seconds. And yes, my only thoughts about this segment is that segment 1 was 18 minutes ago. Yes, you're
He's
right.
Still in security arms.
20 minutes of... You're not getting in here, Jared. Yes, I am. I'm having my title match, Bill. No, you're not. You're a bastard. Get out of here.
I'm pretty sure when they first went out there, it wasn't raining.
No, it
And then all of a sudden, it was raining. So
because 20 minutes of time had gone
Yeah.
by and the weather changed. Segment 3. AJ Styles enters to no music and he says, Jerry Lynn. Before he can breathe in to say the next sentence, Jerry Lynn just appears and says, I don't owe you shit, punk. This is only for the streaming version, mine and Delta's version. They bleep shit,
Oh, did they?
but not bitch earlier in the show when Ken Shamrock specifically called a woman a bitch when it
That's
was actually a
okay.
derogatory term.
Hey,
Shit, no, you bleep that. And also, every other curse word from here on in. I don't know why. I guess you get
it's
one.
PG-13.
You get the one, I guess.
Ken Shamrock just thought bitch was her name and was just using a
Oh.
proper noun. That's all.
I thought because it was filmed earlier in the week.
Oh, that's
Just
the trick.
right before the cutoff, they were like,
Yeah.
no, you're PG-13 now. Okay, but that last segment, and the producer took his hat off and he's like, oh, and he jumped on it. Not that we need another tangent in this already just off the rails podcast, but yo, I occasionally use a website called prowrestling.fandom.com.
It's like a wiki, right?
It's a fan wiki and it's trash. Yo, you heard this promo that AJ and Jerry Lynn cut, right?
Mm.
Do you remember what he said, how long they have been in the wrestling business for?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Eight-
AJ said
Two-
3.5,
3 years?
4, and Jerry Lynn said what? 14?
Yeah,
Or 12?
3.5 to 4 or 14. This website listed this promo as as AJ Styles saying he'd only done it for 2 years.
No.
How do you watch a promo and get the numbers that wrong? That's all I'm saying is that this is a website that is supposed to be an encyclopedia for wrestling knowledge, and it got a number wrong from a promo that you could have just watched with your own. Like,
Just saying, don't use that website
that's all
ever.
I'm saying. You do what you want. Like, you can hammer your own feet all day. I'm just saying, maybe don't. All right, back to the actual promo. Jerry Lynn complains about how he's a legend in the business and AJ ain't shit. AJ hasn't earned it. He hasn't paid his dues. And AJ kind of seems to agree.
Yeah, and so does the crowd.
Yeah. But then Lynn grabs AJ by the chin and says, just follow my lead and respect me.
Well, he wasn't looking at him. He was trying to talk to him, and he wasn't making eye contact with him.
I guess, yeah.
He's not a gorilla. You can look at him.
AJ attacks Jerry Lynn from behind, gives him the Styles Clash, and very viscerally screams, I don't need you! And leaves. Segment 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Your thoughts?
I don't know who I'm supposed to follow here.
Yes.
Is this just
Yeah.
drama? Is that what this is? Just drama? I
These-
feel like it's just drama.
These is just two friends having it out.
Yeah, you're not
Ain't
really.
no good guys or bad guys.
Yeah.
You're just supposed to like walk by and be like, "Ooh, this is interesting," and watch, and not really like follow anyone.
Well, honestly, I'm kind of on AJ's side because Jerry Lynn is just out there like, I had to suffer, so everybody has to suffer just as much, if not more than I did.
Yeah.
Really, Jerry Lynn? That's your attitude? Like, maybe you were just bad with money, and that's why you ate peanut butter sandwiches all the time. Great. AJ Styles' wife and kid have to suffer because you never learned finance.
He's just saying he struggled during all this time, and he just wants to be shown respect. Where
Okay,
AJ's like his second year here, getting all these wins, where he's like, "Why don't you give me?" Like, I see his point.
You explain to me how struggling for something just earns you respect. I could struggle to drag a
He's
boulder.
achieved through it,
If I struggle to drag a 1,000-pound boulder up a hill
and did it.
and then get to the top, and you're like, yeah, dude, but I did this in 15 minutes with that machine over there. I can't be mad at you because you did it the smart way. You have to take that boulder back down. You have to do the work if you want to earn the respect that I'm getting.
He didn't do it himself. He did it as a tag team with him.
Whatever, AJ got the win.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
look, and then you put your hands on the man's chin? Come on, that is...
I thought this was a bad fucking
Me too. But,
thing they were
but
doing, but I
clearly-
think this is what they wanted.
Clearly, this is a great fucking oh my
Storyline?
god.
This is a great storyline they
Oh
were
my
doing.
God,
If you're
I've
grabbing
never
a man
seen-
by the chin like that, you better be kissing him in the most passionate way.
Well, he's a child. He should have been looking at him. He shouldn't be
Because
looking down all
Jerry
sad.
Lynn's a disrespectful pervert grabbing a child like that.
I'm always on Jerry Lynn's side.
Yo.
He's
I don't
the
care
face
how
here.
many kids he killed. I'm on his side.
You heard the crowd.
Yeah.
Jerry.
I think that's what they were chanting.
It is what they're chanting, but only it's because it's a chant they're already familiar with. It has nothing to do with who's good or bad.
All right.
What's that Rick and Morty quote? Your boos mean nothing to me. I've seen what makes you cheer.
Yeah.
We've seen what this crowd cheers
Yeah.
for.
I know what you cheer for. It doesn't matter if you boom it.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's a bad thing that they cheered for him.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. No. That's yeah. So yeah, I thought this was a bad fucking storyline, but woo! Yo, it is good. Apparently, it is a heated storyline. That's good. Segment 4. I fucking love the goddamn producing of this show. Ed throws to Goldie, who apparently has something for us. Backstage, Goldie throws to a recap video.
What?
What? Come on. We recap Jasmine slaying Claire's striptease from last week. She tries to give JB a lap dance, but Bill Barron stops her. Oh, but Bill Barron's gets speared by Ed Ferrara. Oh, but it doesn't faze Bill Barron's, and Bill takes Jasmine away anyway with his jacket. End of recap.
He's no jobber.
No. He actually has wrestled, so. Goldie tries to get a word with Jasmine, but Francine interrupts and drags Jasmine to the showers.
That is a classic Goldie scream, by the way. As you'll learn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You'll eventually learn that.
After a knee to the gut, Francine tells Jasmine to cool off and turns the showers on. We cut away right as everything gets wet enough to see through.
Yeah.
Recap 45 seconds. Segment length, 1 minute and 20 seconds. My thoughts are what I already knew, which is the only nudity we're going to get on the show is accidental at best.
Yeah, because she just happened to just wear a white shirt with nothing underneath,
Mhm.
and then she got beat up in a shower.
Beat up, put onto a shower, and someone said, yeah, cool off.
It's like an 80s movie.
It is. I mean, somebody made a cheesy pun. There were tits and there was violence. Oh, yeah, it's all there.
Almost tits.
Almost tits. That's true.
I mean, for like 1/15 of a second, you're like, I can see nipple through that. Oh, damn it.
it's like a poor TV cut. All right, segment 5. K-Crush enters to clear cheers.
The best entrance in TNA so far.
Just the way he like wiggles down. With
He
the
comes down, he has a whole like time sequence with the pyro and things. Oh, everyone else just like walks out and waves.
I guess because he lost the real athlete contest, K-Crush has to argue another point, which is that he dresses, moves, talks, acts, and smells like a star.
Oh, he's a star
Now
now.
he's a star, yeah. K-Crush cuts arguably the exact same promo as Brian Lawler did last show, but it's about his career instead of his childhood. If I'm a star, then why doesn't Daddy WWE love me?
What are we talking about them? Such a shame.
I just want to mention this quote that he says, because I don't understand it, and I don't think you will either. What the pump damn thud was that about?
Is that what he said?
I'm almost positive.
The pump. Say that again.
What the pump damn thunder is that about?
I don't know what that means. Pump damn.
Like you went to
Pump-
pump the brakes, but it was too late, so you said damn, and you boom,
Thud.
you
And you
thudded.
All right.
Pump damn thud. That's something his grandmother said. Definitely.
Definitely.
Pump damn thud.
Gas brake honk. Gas brake honk. Pump damn thud.
It seems like K Crush is playing the race card, but he makes it clear he's not just an angry black man. He is the truth, and he will take what is his.
The truth. Started.
This is when he first starts using the truth gimmick name, right?
I think he started doing the gimmick a little bit earlier, like maybe like a little bit of indies. I think he did it in XPW for just like a day before this, you know? But yeah, this is the truth. Enter Norman Smiley, because we're having a match now. The match starts and commentary once again puts over how well talked about TNA was from last week, this time mentioning Jarrett and the Titans thing.
Is there anything less cool than talking about how cool other people say you are?
Ooh, man, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Not in today's voice. It's impossible in that voice.
Norman hits all of his moves, fakes the big wiggle, but then does it a second later.
I like the wheelbarrow, the big wiggle spot.
Yeah, it was all right.
It got me.
I like Norman Smiley. He's
Well,
a
yeah,
fucking
that's-
good wrestler.
Duh.
Like, he's great. Don West sums it up best when he says watching K Crush is like watching an Olympian do a floor routine. There's a lot of flips and jumps, and it's really skillful. Like, it's not just like wrestling where you're like, let me throw this at the
Oh,
guy and I
yeah.
hope it hits him.
He's on point.
No, yeah, he is good. Smiley, in control, hits his hips, like a hip shot, to a kneeling K Crush's head, and commentary agrees Norman's just showboating.
It's an effective move.
Crush hits a sit-out front suplex and gets the 3. Post-match, Crush takes off his belt, beats Norman, and then hangs him over the top of the ropes.
Yo, those belt shots.
Yeah, they were
Those
bad.
look painful.
And-
They
and
had
the-
all those studs or whatever hanging off of them.
Yeah, it wasn't just the leather or whatever, faux leather, but he also had like metal rings hanging off of it, and then the rings were hanging on studs, so it was, oof, that must have been rough. Then a giant white woman runs out, and everyone is confused.
At first, I was like, who the hell is this?
Everyone is confused about this very large white woman. She, like, I mean, not that it matters, no big deal, no judgment, but she had to have been, like, fucking 6'6"? Like, she was a
Yeah.
giant.
Yeah, her head was like level with the second rope. Just about.
I think it was over the second rope. I'm not even, yeah. She runs out, and I think Tanae confirms, that's Norman Smiley's wife! And she yells, that's my husband, good lord! And Crush looks at her like a crazy person as he hangs Norman Smiley. Then she smacks his arms. So Crush grabs her by the collar like a crazy person and shakes her.
He's gonna hit a woman.
Refs and security break it up, and Crush and everyone just leave. They all just, all right, it's over now, goodbye. Promo length 4 minutes. Match length 3 minutes and 20 seconds, although there was no bell to end the match. Post-match segment was 1 minute and 30. Full segment, 10 minutes and 47 seconds.
So this is gonna be a feud now, right? Because if not, it makes Norman Smiley look like a complete bitch.
At the very least, Norman Smiley's wife will be saving him from a lot of matches.
At the very least, Norman Smiley has got a great feud against the rest of TNA.
Yeah.
Nobody from the back, security or anybody, was willing to save Norman Smiley's life except for his wife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she got out there way before anyone.
Yeah.
Also, can someone explain, last show we had K Crush versus Hermie Sadler,
Right.
right? K Crush up, beats the hell out of Hermie Sadler. What does the ref do?
Yeah.
Reverse that decision. This way,
Inconsistent.
no, we can't do that.
Hanged a man.
Hang the man. Should we reverse that? I mean, his wife came up here, so like, that's embarrassing. I'm
Yeah.
not reversing that. Not now.
He was too caught up in all the drama. He couldn't think that straight.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Good match. Bad end. Segment 6. Backstage, Goldie is trying to interview who she calls Puppet the Midget Killer. But he's inside of a trash bin kicking the side.
Is he punching it? Is he kicking it?
I mean, either way, he denies that he's masturbating and asks Goldie if she wants some of his porridge, i.e., his cum. He then says that he has PMS, pissed midget syndrome. The only cure is beating midget ass, which
I don't understand what's happening in
not-
this promo.
yeah. Puppet, it gets somehow it gets weirder when Puppet makes the factual statement in his mind of you're either a midget or you're a Macaulay Culkin, which is not his
How tall
last
is
name.
Macaulay Culkin?
Macaulay Culkin is a normal human being. I think he's actually a tall human being.
Are you saying that a little person is not a normal human being?
No, I'm saying that he didn't alter his height to make himself shorter. He's a regular human being who grew up to whatever length he wanted to because he has that power.
Yeah, exactly. He's saying that he's the threshold because he has the power. What does that mean?
Well, he thought about what height he wanted to be, and he just became it.
Yeah. Not like these dang little people who choose to be small.
They're holding themselves back.
Yeah. That's the message I was clearly trying to send with those words.
This is all complete satire. Please note it.
No. But if it is satire, then you say it's satire. Does that make it truthful? You're satiring the satire. All right. Anyway, look, that's what he said. You're either a midget or you're Macaulay Culkin. Both of those words are offensive. And then he offers to show Goldie his penis. Goldie walks away. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think the first half of that was offensive? No. He then offers to expose himself. Yeah. Goldie walks away saying, "I'm leaving TNA as soon as my singing career picks up."
How do you keep her around after that?
Because it doesn't happen for a decade.
That's not happening anytime soon.
She comes across the dup sitting on the floor, and it's my favorite shout of the night, where she goes, "Oh God! God!"
That'd be good.
Bo asks Stan if he wants any of Fluff, but Stan is playing with fire. Stan says he's a big fan of Goldie's labia.
Well, you're paraphrasing.
Yeah, but that was the
obviously.
message he was sending.
Yeah.
And nobody's gonna blame her when Goldie then says, "I hate this job," and walks away. Post segments, believe it or not, once again, this is like the third time this has happened. Tenay and Ed Ferrara are absolutely confused about what they just saw,
Yeah.
while Don West is the one to promote what's happening next on the show. I will, of course, then once again take this time to promote our show by saying please like or review or just share it. Just share it with everybody, anybody and everybody. Put a name in a box and give them the box. Segment length, 2 minutes and 25 seconds. I had thoughts about this, but you guys go first because I had thoughts after my thoughts that broke all my thoughts.
I'm still a fan of a promo going into a promo.
Oh my god!
I still like it. It's a good way. I don't like things happening all over the place. Things happen pretty close. I don't know where, like, you've been to wrestling shows, obviously. Everyone's not scattered all throughout the place. You're pretty much
Yeah,
confined to,
they're
like,
all
one
in the
half.
same locker room, and everybody's friends and buddies.
Except for the weirdos who play with fire.
Yeah.
They're over to the side.
Why don't we just go? Well, why don't we just do a promo where you just go into the one big locker room where everybody is, and just go from one to the other. To
Brother,
the other.
if this were real.
Not for nothing, but I have been to those same shows that you have been. Not all of them, but a lot of them. You know damn well that yes, there is a locker room filled with all the wrestlers, but there is also a second locker room filled with the weirdos that no one wants to associate with.
Yeah. And then within the locker rooms, there are all these groups of cliques,
Yeah.
and everyone kind of sits amongst themselves and barely interacts.
It's a really depressing life.
Yeah. But yo, this segment just makes me think, like, we definitively, like, hit our, you know, what are your developmental years or whatever, like when you're like teenager and whatever.
Right.
In like one of the worst periods in pop culture human
Yeah.
history.
Holy shit, yeah.
Right? Where everyone was just like, you know what's cool and dope? Let's just be like edgy 13-year-old boys. Isn't that like grabbing titties and like jerking off? Isn't that cool?
This is the dark ages of comedy.
Dude, it's so...
That's like, oh, why are people acting like teenage boys? It's because when we were teenage boys, adults acted like that.
The
Those were legit role models to us.
Yo.
The
Well,
Dubs
not to us,
got
but for us.
pops.
Yeah,
They got big
they got
pops.
pops. Yeah, exactly.
It's and it's happening in like all of wrestling because this is right about the time where we were in where Vince is talking about you gotta have your intestinal fortitude. and
Yeah,
your-
yeah.
It's before the PG era where things were like we're gonna be edgy but obviously you're not. You're just like we just gotta do shock. Everything was just shock.
That's actually the thing is it's 2002, so we are actually in that post scared 9/11 phase where everyone's just like America's gotta be loud and proud. So no matter what it is you do, you are like you want to touch a titty, you grab that titty and wave a flag. I don't care how old that girl is.
You know, that was my bad. I forgot about 9/11.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
Whoops.
You know.
Whoops. I forgot that happened there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they only made a big deal about it for
Yeah,
so long that
They only radically enforced never forget our entire lives. Of course, I was going to rebel and forget about 9/11.
Yeah. I'm an edgy, anti-mainstream guy. Of course I'm gonna forget about 9/11. That's all I know. All right. So my question, my serious question. Let's take a second here to be serious if we can.
Oh.
Because this is a real question I'm asking you guys. The Dups. Are wrestlers hired by the company TNA with the idea of using their character to sell shirts that they can make money off of, right?
Right.
Or to sell tickets that they can buy. Whatever. I mean, you got to work a program to sell tickets. So what are you putting on a shirt that someone buys that shirt because they like the Dups? Like, I fucked my sister/cousin and all I got was a t-shirt? Like, is that the level of t-shirt we're working with here? Like, who buys a shirt for these people? Only steers and queers come from Texas, and I got neither of them. Like, just nonsense. Just Southern nonsense. I feel like that's what appeals.
I mean, someone comes up with some kind of dup
Well, you have
shirt, right?
you have
Like,
those the colloquialisms from last week. We just get,
Yeah.
so what if it's just like, if you play with fire, it's gonna burn when you pee?
Oh,
And what was the other one? Like, if it looks like shit and smells like shit, it probably is shit.
Yo,
You're gonna put that on a shirt?
that's what I mean.
I mean, these guys don't, their character right now is a yuck. So maybe they'll just put a yuck on a shirt and hope Tennessee Hayseeds will buy it.
Yo, the only shirt I can think of that is a good shirt, but no fan would want to buy it, is I got dupped, which is a misspelling of I got duped.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you fucking did. Yeah, seriously, is TNA nothing but Southerners who hate the South but can't afford to leave it?
TNA is like the epitome of bad indie wrestling. It's like, yeah, we'll pay money to bring in names and pay money to bring in other non-names. Not really have any idea how to let any of it mash together.
No, I mean, but it worked for WCW, so it'll work for us. Just make sure there's a sub in the back. Everybody loves a sub.
Yeah, as long as we got catering.
All right, segment 7, the Flying Elvises enter as we recap the attack the Flying Elvises performed on the X Division last week. Their opponents are generic faces, Elix Skipper and Christopher Daniels.
The starting of Triple X.
It's funny to me because it's like, I wonder if this is going to be like our future, in a sense of like now where you have, I got a third mention for AEW, where it's like, SCU versus random jobbers, Ryzen and Baron Black. I wonder if one day we're going to look back and go,
these guys are going to be big now?
like, I wonder if it's like the
Yeah.
same thing. Or...
No, Ryzen sucks.
All right, I guess I'm wrong. Okay. All right, so the match starts, and it is arguably at this time your average TNA match, which, back and forth kind of good, but mostly overshadowed by everything else that's happening. Mainly mid-match when Sonny Siaki walks away from the match to go to commentary to put himself over while he tries to remember how to breathe. Because he's out of breath hard.
Yeah. He was blown up. He had no idea what to say.
Also, he buries his tag partner, Jorge Estrada. Hard.
I didn't understand this at all.
That's his gimmick. It's all about him.
Yeah.
It's all about him.
It is, and you know it because he does it twice. Walks away from the match to get on commentary and breathed poorly and put down his tag partner.
Dude, I can't believe how gassed this guy was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like in phenomenal shape, but
But
he has
got no
zero
cardio.
stamina.
Yeah, he's shredded. And he gets on mic and immediately was just like... and you're like, oh my god, guy, like, walk to the table slower if you just need to gasp for breath. Like,
He barely did anything.
yeah.
Once again, Slick sucks.
Thank you. I know.
Siaki chokes Daniels in his corner, and for no reason at all, Slick pretends that he can't see the blatant choke because he's trying to hold back Estrada, who's in the same corner doing nothing but standing there. He's not even like fighting Slick to pretend because he doesn't know what's going on. He's got no clue. He's like, what the fuck is this? What? This is immediately followed by Siaki walking away from that and telling Slick, stop him.
Yep. I remember this. Yep.
And then Siaki attacks Skipper and walks away from him, you know, indicating that Skipper's going to run in the ring and Slick should stop him. So Slick turns around and runs back to Estrada and tries to stop him from doing nothing.
Such a fucking idiot. Ugh.
At which point Skipper has to walk all the way into the ring, punch Siaki in the back of the head, and then turn around and leave because, like, what else do you do? And then Slick is like, oh, get out of the ring. You're not supposed to be in here. Get out of the ring. It somehow gets worse.
Oh, don't.
Because then Slick touches his earpiece and shrugs his shoulders as if to say to people in the back, I don't know what that was about, like it wasn't his fault. I hate this guy. I hate him. Oh, this is arguably when the whole show starts to really fall apart because we get this dumb fan who leaves his seat to get his sign on hard cam, literally following it as it pans around ring to like when they bounce off the ropes, that little he's skipping in the aisle to make sure he gets his fucking I am Chad sign or whatever it is on camera.
Oh, everyone knows now.
They do, actually. They do. Estrada slips on a springboard, and Ed says, well, that's what he gets for hot dogging. Only moves anybody pops for. It's a couple of them, but these are the only ones they actually get a pop for. Skipper dives to the outside. Pop. Estrada does a split-legged moonsault mid-match. Pop.
Pretty impressive, because the distance,
distance.
He hit it, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I popped big for that one.
Yes. CD's BME. Classic.
Yeah.
And then
BME for a reason.
Skipper jumped off of a kneeling Daniels back onto Estrada's shoulders, who he was standing.
Yeah.
And then also Skipper is standing, and then he jumped off of the shoulders and gave a Hurricane Rana to Sonny Siaki.
That was amazing.
Yes.
I couldn't believe. I was like, oh, okay. I like Elix Skipper now.
Yes. Yeah, those are those classic, people call them TNA spots, but they're really kind of ROH spots more so. Definitely one of those classic spots. Siaki wins the match with a money clip, a.k.a. roll the dice, a.k.a. a snap rolling neck breaker. Post-match, Elvis' celebrate, but the Dupps come out, and all three hit Jorge Estrada in the head with their own wooden boards while Siaki bails out. I don't know if you noticed it, but I did. They came out with the wrong side exposed, so you could see the cut in the middle of the board. Recap length 50 seconds, match length 9 minutes 50 seconds, post-match length minute and 2 seconds, full segment length 13 minutes 27 seconds. I think we've already mentioned my thoughts before, which is they clearly think the Dupps are going to get over, and then they don't. But also they don't think they're going to get over, and then they do. We don't know what anybody wants from the Dupps. We don't know what to do with the Dupps. They're just here.
It's a really bad gimmick to have.
Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts, anyway?
Just going back to Slick, like, tags just went all out the window. At the end of the match, they're all over the place. Sonny isn't the legal man, but makes the pin. Yeah, it was the last, like, 3 or 4 exchange where they're in and out, there were just no tags, and they were just like, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Full scramble
I'm pretty
style.
sure this was the match where they did the hot tag, and when that happened, Slick, like, jumped in the air, waved his hands around, went, like, pointed at both of them, pointing back and forth, and, like, went down on one knee, and got up and jumped again, waved again, and then they came and did the hot tag. I was like, what was all of that about? Like, it's all about him constantly. That's why I fucking hate him.
What the show's about, the rep.
But I love Sonny Siaki. I think he is the best thing in this match. I do agree he needs to run probably a lot more. But other than that, he has a great look. I love his gimmick. That he just doesn't want to do whatever he's doing, which is kind of weird that they are just like the Flying Elvises from day one, and he's just like, day one, I don't want any part of this. I'm like, so why did the other two agree to be with him? I don't understand why this is happening.
Yeah, he makes the comment one time where he's like, yeah, Jorge thinks he's the real Elvis over there.
Yeah, he starts like shaping his hair, growing the sideburns.
Yeah.
He added the glasses. Sanaziaki's like taking the
Yeah.
the suit off
It's
slowly.
basically just pants at this point
Yeah.
he's wearing. Like, okay, segment 8. Technically, based on how I break things up, before the segment, we get Tio dancing in one of the TNA girls' cages with the TNA girl. It's for about 30 seconds. And then actual segment 8, backstage, Goldilocks is with K Crush. She wants to know why he tried to kill Norman Smiley. K Crush threatens to beat her and calls her a bitch. Crush is then immediately tackled into a metal loading dock door by Scott Hall, who says, 2 down, 1 to go.
Admission of guilt.
Wait. 2 men fight each other. Jeff Jarrett, you're out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Scott Hall allowed to be there? Scott Hall fights again. He's fine. We're not kicking him out.
I'm starting to believe this conspiracy against Jarrett because
100%.
of the 2 people Scott Hall beat up, like if there was some, I would think maybe we should at least kick out the killer or attempted murderer,
Yeah,
right? This
right.
man just tried to execute Norman Smiley in the ring.
Yeah.
Maybe we should give him the boot.
Absolutely.
No, Jeff Jarrett, I do not like that bodysuit you work in. It's kind of weird. Like it's a full bodysuit, but like tiny trunk leg. You're done. Get out of here. You're banned from the building, Jeff Jarrett.
I thought I told you to get that shirt off.
It is. It's a shirt policy. That's all it is. It's shirt discrimination.
Oh, and yeah, I guess K Crush is the heel because he was yelling in Goldilocks' face saying he beat her, not beat other people.
Right.
So
Right.
Shenrock would beat other people.
Yes.
He's not a heel that would beat a woman.
Right.
So calling a woman a bitch, that's anybody can do that.
Neutral.
Good guy, bad guy.
Well,
just
it's Goldie.
neutral.
She's a bitch.
Right, that's right.
I don't know if I said it, but segment length 26 seconds.
That was quick.
It was a quick one. Segment 9, enter Meatball, and commentary is speechless, except for the very derogatory comment of they call him 4x4. That's the worst part. It wasn't even very good.
Yeah, a lot of trouble finding his Cheetos. Was his gimmick the Cheetos, or was he like legitimately looking for something he wanted?
Yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, either way. So Puppet enters, and today says, the little guy is out to assassinate all midgets, self-censoring the word guy in the phrase little guy, completely missing which part is offensive twice.
Yep.
So the match begins with a Jarrett-style garbage can shot to the head. He wasn't even looking. Conk! Puppet gets Irish whipped but falls out of the ring because he's too short to even rebound. And then Don mentions the complaint that I had from like the first midget match, whatever, 4 episodes ago. They need a ring their size.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if it's offensive to say, but it is factual.
Like, that's definitely just a botch and he almost just died, right? Like, did he just forget what height the ropes were at? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like, cause like Mysterio like stops short and like leans into the second rope, so he should have done that with the first rope, I guess. But
yeah, but Mysterio's also like, still he's got like a foot on these guys, so it's easier to hit the second rope. But
And that's also still 2 ropes as opposed
has
to
he
1
ever
rope.
hit the rope before? Like, that's my question.
yeah, it was horrible. It was just a horrible thing to watch. They make their way over to the shopping cart full of food that I guess production was like, no, you're not getting that near the ring.
The most brutal spot.
Finally, somebody throws a pie.
Yay! It took 5 episodes.
It is followed by Cheese Whiz and Apple, and almost a pineapple, but a low blow changes control, and now Puppet uses an apple Yo, at least a 10-pound bag of flour
Yeah.
right to Meatball's neck.
Right to the back of his head. I'm not even sure
Yeah.
he knew it was coming.
No,
Just clobbered him.
which is followed by a watermelon to his brain.
It almost sandwiched him. It might have at least like smacked his forehead into the cement because like he was on all fours, and I mean, come on, his head isn't that far away from the ground if he's on all fours.
Yo, is there anything funnier than smashing someone with a bag of flour?
Yo,
And it doesn't break.
It doesn't break.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Fucking thought-
That's why I was like, he's gonna have neck problems. That poor guy.
yeah,
Oh,
that poor bastard.
Square in the back of the head, like even all around. It didn't like slide off, like it did eventually, but
Yeah. When that hit, ooh, the second it hit, I was like, ooh, they forgot to cut that. Ooh, they were supposed to perforate that in several places, and they forgot.
they perforate the wood board. That they can
Yeah.
do expertly and obviously.
3 times.
Yeah.
Yo, so back near the ring, DDT only gets a 2 for Puppet on the outside, because apparently it's false count anywhere.
All right.
Inside, a chair on top of a laid out meatball, and a Vader bomb gets the 3 for Puppet. Match length 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Segment length 8 minutes and 38 seconds. Yo, my thoughts are I've seen this gimmick before, and I really hate this food gimmick. This fat, disgusting guy who only wants to eat. He clearly has a terrible food addiction that he cannot control, and it's being played off as evil. How dare he?
No, he's not evil. Was he? He came out and was waving. I
Oh,
thought
was he?
Puppet, the midget
Yeah, I
killer,
thought
was
Puppet
evil.
was the
Oh,
heel.
I don't know. I mean, I'm cheering for Puppet every time. Usually it's played as evil.
That flower spot and that watermelon spot really saved this match for me. Otherwise, I would have just threw the whole thing out.
Yo.
Yeah.
Dropping just a 10-pound bag of flour.
Oh, God.
And not even, like, I've picked up the bag of flour at the supermarket and you pick it up and dust comes out. Like some of the flour comes out accidentally just by picking it up. He dropped that thing on his head and nothing.
Yo, I feel bad because I forgot to look into it, but this has got to be the last time we see Meatball wrestle.
Oh yeah.
The
I
last
didn't-
match of his career.
Yeah.
He had fractures in 3 of his cervical vertebrae.
Yeah, that was why I didn't bother looking it up. There's no way he comes back.
Yo, imagine, how did you break your neck? Flour.
Flour. A bag of flour.
A bag
Someone threw it at the back of my head.
All right, so post segment, Tio is shown to still be in the dancer's cage with the TNA dancer, and Puppet looks as he walks by, but I guess he's too tired from the match to follow through with his gimmick of being upset that other midgets are stealing his limelight, and he just walks away.
And that's the one to be upset at because he's getting paid for doing that, and you just got paid for breaking another guy's neck with a bag of flour.
Yeah, and they showed him doing that at the beginning of segment 8, and this is now the end of segment 9. He's been there the whole time, stealing your limelight in the public eye. Oh, and then we remind you that Tio is in fact a good guy because he rips off the TNA dancer's shirt. Unbeknownst to her, she seems very uncomfortable with it. He may have taken her bra.
The second he started like grabbing it, she was like, "No!" I was like, "Oh, heel turn."
Yeah.
And then like Ferraro, someone was like, "Oh man, I wish I was him."
Way to go! You're the best!
I was like, "Oh my god."
Horrible. So segment 10. This whole segment is a mess. Both the stuff they wanted to do and the stuff they didn't even mean. Everything's a mess about it. Jasmine St. Clair enters limping and holding her stomach from 7 segments and 40 minutes earlier.
She was left in that shower.
Yo, when she came out, that happened so long ago, I instantly went, oh, they're doing a miscarriage angle. They're going to do a what? Francine gets called out by Jasmine and she runs out. Francine just runs out and they immediately roll around and tear each other's clothes off.
Yeah.
I liked who was it? Tanae's comment when he was like, "Folks, I assure you, it's not that cold in here."
Oh. Yeah, actually, that is followed by another sort of kind of kayfabe breaker when Don goes, JB, I want a copy of this tape. Some trash bag fan
Again.
and his friends take out dollars and wave them at the screen and the women. I'm like, they're already ripping their clothes off for you. How do you degrade them more? How did you figure out a way?
Yeah.
Francine takes a belt out of her pocket and beats Jasmine, but the Blue Meanie, also famously known, believe it or not, at this time as Jasmine St. Clair's boyfriend.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, "Oh, this is definitely a work somehow."
No.
Storyline.
That is
Like in both ways, that they would claim that he was the Blue Meanie because that's not the Blue Meanie, and that they're actually dating.
Yes, to clarify, also the Blue Meanie had recently had liposuction at that time.
Oh.
Which is why he was so skinny.
Yeah. Okay.
And yes, in as far as fake behind the scenes wrestling kayfabe goes, to like, shoot interview style, yes, they were dating. I don't know what their real lives were, but
Maybe
yes.
supplying her coke.
Yeah, that was yeah, exactly. Go watch a New Jack interview. I'm sure he'll say that.
I already did.
Oh, that's where you got it. Okay. So the Blue Meanie. Oh, did I say that he comes out and he DDTs Francine? Because he DDTs Francine. After, like, jerking her around the ring.
So he's a heel.
Definitely. Yeah, the Blue
Even
Meanie...
though I thought Francine was a heel.
Oh, that's true, yeah. So who's the...
Mhm.
Because also Ferrara is kind of the heel. For harassing her.
Turns out, it's just a show full of awful people.
Oh, cool. And that continues, because the Blue Meanie carries Jasmine out as fans try to touch her feet. And a pissed Ed Ferrara enters the ring to check on Francine, who basically just like stares down her bra the whole time.
Oh man, that camera gets that one shot, and like the guy in the truck was like, "Hold that shot!" and it stayed there for a good like 45
yeah,
seconds,
that-
and I was like,
the
"They could
underboob-
change this."
The
yeah.
underboob shot that was so close you could see her scars.
Yeah, I was like, they could like
Oh,
change.
you can zoom
shots
out or
here.
so. Yeah, like what? This is a little gross now. Don West says that it was wrong for the Blue Meanie to do that to a woman because we were having so much fun with it.
Yeah, watching the women fight, right?
Yeah, we were having fun with it. Why did he ruin that?
We were having this.
Fans boo, and the same, like I sort of highlighted him, so I'll mention it again. The same black guy from the last episode where he was sticking out his tongue.
Oh yeah.
Different location and with a friend doing it again at the crowd, at the camera, as Francine is taken away on a stretcher, possibly paralyzed for life.
With tears coming out of
Yeah.
her eyes.
Yeah.
That's what he's into.
And they want to eat the camera's pussy.
That's what really turns him on. On the Gertie, baby.
Imagine that shit. Like, imagine you get into a car accident and they're wheeling you away, and the guy in the car, like, waiting on the line, is just like, yeah. Yo. I hope this ambulance backs over you, my friend.
Yo. Like, part of me is like, I shouldn't call out the fans for the stuff they do, but other part of me is like, yeah, but I recognize him. I recognize that scumbag already. Like, how do I not? It's like
This isn't a first offense.
No, he is a known marauder. Like, oh my god. So, yeah, promo length. Remember there was a promo?
Oh, yeah.
That was 12 seconds. The violence length, I'll call it, because there were no bells, was 1 minute and 25 seconds, and the full segment, believe it or not, was only 4 minutes and 44 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
My only thoughts are that I hope I never see the Blue Meanie again.
Mm.
I never want to see him again. I didn't like anything about him.
And there was no booby touching this time.
No, because it was very serious.
Yes.
Although there was a lot of booby looking.
It was getting there. We were having a good time with it.
We got one angle and Ed got the other angle.
Yeah, he was just staring
And we saw
down
boobs
there.
from both sides. Between the two of us, we saw the whole titty.
We'll rendezvous later. We can draw it up.
Yeah. Recreate a 3D creation of a boob, and we'll touch it. All right, segment 11. Goldilocks says Low-Key's name. This is backstage. Goldilocks says Low-Key's name as she approaches him, and he turns and says, and walks away. Segment length 5 seconds. My only thoughts are I really wish I didn't have to watch this 6 times before I realized he might be saying, I'm sorry, I do my talking in the ring.
I heard a little bit of that. I heard, I do my talking. It's like, what does he do?
I do my talking.
I do my talking as I walk away from the mic.
And Goldie got a mic and a cameraman and was like, yeah, I got an interview, so you can switch to me. And he was like, no, I don't want to talk, and walked away. So I was like, oh, thanks, Goldie. You're the worst at your job. I don't know why she's here.
She keeps threatening to quit, but how many interviews has she actually gotten?
Yeah. Like she can quit, but she's not going to get another interviewer job. She has no resume right now.
She keeps stumbling across the dups, literally, and doesn't actually interview them.
Oh, God!
Yeah, that's your job. I mean, then again, I sit down for work, 8 a.m., and I'm like, power on the computer, oh God. So I can sympathize.
I mean, without her, who would find all these bodies lying around? They would just be
Right.
lying there all
Yeah.
night. She's the only one that could hear them.
Fucking Bloodhound Goldie. That's why she keeps coming across the dups. She thinks she's finding a corpse, but they just stink.
It smells around there. I smell of crime happening.
Oh, God! Segment 12, we get a highlight video of Low-Key's finishers, Dragon Clutch and Key Crusher 99, followed by AJ Styles' finishers, Styles Clash, and the Spiral Tap.
I liked it. I like that little promo package.
Well, it was a short one, yeah. It was nice. As the match begins, Don West returns to commentary saying, oh, it's Francine couldn't move her neck. It's bad. Which, I mean, that's bad, but usually the fear is not being able to move anything else.
Anything below that.
I can't turn my neck. Oh, that sucks, but you landed on your neck, so that's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be stiff.
That's good. That's an upside.
As injured as you are, you're actually fine. That's normal. That's the normal thing that's supposed to happen. All right, so Styles and Low-Key just kind of grapple around the ring, reversing each other. It's impressive, but not really exciting.
It looks like an ROH, that,
Catch as catch cans.
yeah,
Yeah.
style. It's clearly geared towards that
Right.
kind of.
I was digging it.
Yeah, like I said, it's impressive, but not necessarily. Oh, it's
Yeah.
just very impressive. It's quite British. Interesting. Yes.
Mhm.
Intriguing at what? At this point in the match, whenever this thing was being written, the jerk with the sign is escorted out of the arena.
Yay.
And you know this because the crowd chants, Chad sucks, Chad sucks,
Oh,
Chad
that's what
sucks.
everyone was looking at.
Yes, and you can, because I looked at him and I noticed him, you could barely notice him being pushed past hard cam by security.
Okay, I saw everyone looking at him, and even Loki was looking to see what was happening.
Because, I was like, I don't know what he did, that the whole arena hated his guts, but he pulled it off. He pulled it off.
Well, he was running around putting the sign in everyone's face. So
yeah,
he's annoying everyone.
I think he might have, I think he might have did something to a kid.
Oh,
I think he might
straight
have
to that.
I legit think he might have bumped into a child and someone
Oh, okay.
complained and that got him kicked out.
Oh, okay.
I think that's literally what happened. Is he bumped into a child and some mom was like, "No!"
I'm the one that went there. I thought you went there.
What kind of candy works? Yo. So, AJ hits a dive and it's countered by what? A kick. Cause it's Low-Key.
Low kick.
In the ring, Low-Key locks in the dragon clutch around the ropes, followed by one on the ground. That also ends in rope break. I was like, well, okay.
I like the first, the dragon clutch on I thought that was great.
Yeah.
You gotta break it, but going
Yeah.
right back to the well.
Yeah, going right back to the well in the same place,
Yeah.
arguably. I'm going to do this move to him. Oh, well, you have to stop because of rope break. All right, well, I'll do it an inch over there. No, it's still a rope break, Low-Key. How do you not get how wrestling works? The match slows way down in the middle towards the end And then we get this like big spot where Low-Ki rolls away from AJ's spiral tap, and then AJ reverses the key crusher into a DDT, and the crowd kind of picks up. And then after Low-Ki does a cartwheel corner kick, AJ then reverses a moonsault into what I think might have been an accidental powerbomb, and then into the Styles Clash.
Yeah, he just kind of caught him loosely.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was on purpose or not. Styles Clash gets the 3, that's the win, celebrates up the ramp. Post-match, Jerry Lynn attacks AJ on the top of the ramp as he poses with a spear.
What a spear! Holy crap!
I think he did a flip, right?
He
Yeah.
bumped for that. Yeah. Oof.
And he brings him in the ring and pile drives AJ, which is followed by Lynn grabbing a ladder and T-Bone suplexing AJ into the corner, into the ladder. Then front face buster suplex to the ladder. Then AJ on the ladder hits a leg drop. He just kind of kicks the shit out of him with a ladder for a while. And then Lynn goes, "You will respect me," and leaves. Recap, 1:05. Oh, the recap video was 1:05. Match length, 10:37. Post-match segment, 5 minutes, 25 seconds. Full segment length, 19 minutes and 15 seconds. A lot of that length, I think, was in the middle when it slowed down.
Yeah, and the beginning, they just worked around for like the first like 5 or 6 minutes. It was just straight.
They did a lot of that. I don't know what you call it now. I'm old as hell, but they did a lot of that catch as catch can
Yeah.
style. Yeah. Do you guys have any thoughts about this match? I mean, my thoughts are probably match of the night, but also maybe a little boring.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like super into it. There was a lot of stuff. I mean, I feel like it's like AJ and Low-Ki. I know exactly what to expect out of them.
Yeah.
So I guess my expectations were exactly where the match was.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, yep, this is about what I was expecting.
Right.
But I will say, like, is it every match that ends with a beatdown or
Yeah, like every other
Sabu Malice ends with that, right?
Yeah.
We had K Crush versus Norman Smiley. We had Francine and Jasmine just brawl, and then Blue Meanie comes out. Was there attack at the end of the Flying Elvises? Did someone get beat up?
Yeah, the Dups.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Duffs come out at the end of that
The
match.
hell?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think aside from that, it was like Puppet and Meatball were the only one where there wasn't at the end of the match. We got to have more fighting and more brawling.
No, but there still was a thing because they watched Tio
Oh yeah, so
assault that lady.
there's still a thing. It's just not an actual like beatdown.
Yeah.
Every other match so far.
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll change.
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was a wonderful match. That reversal where he catches him from doing that corkscrew.
For the Styles Clash.
Oh, that was one of the best
Beautiful.
Styles clashes
Yeah.
I've ever seen. Holy crap.
Yeah,
And then they're grabbing a ladder and you doing ladder spots now.
yeah, I guess you know what they're setting up for. Like,
After they just had a ladder match open,
yeah, that was a little
and he did
questionable.
his first spot that he did was what the was it a Northern Lights suplex into the ladder, which was
T-bone, I think. Yeah,
almost
whatever, yeah.
identical to the over the head belly
Yeah.
suplex
Right,
spot
yeah,
we just
yeah.
saw that night. I was just like, I don't understand. Do they have
Yeah.
nothing else to do? They just
This
have to
this
do
is
a ladder
again, it's like one of those weird things where it's like I feel like they chopped the show up in the wrong order.
Yeah, and this is also there's no overall like direction. It's just like here's what's happening. There's nobody saying like make sure like don't
Yeah.
fucking touch that ladder. The ladder.
Yeah, you guys have this spot, you guys have this spot, you guys have this spot,
Yeah.
and they just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
No one talks to each
or,
other.
At least like don't fucking touch the ladder. Like,
Yeah, it could have been that easy.
Some people don't care. I think I remember.
I mean, honestly, Jerry Lynn's strikes me as the type of guy who's like, I've been in the business 14 years. I'll take the ladder if I want.
Yeah, I think I remember. It was like just one time at a show, I noticed that two guys were both doing a dive spot in their match, and I was just like, "Hey, is anybody else doing a dive spot?" And like 3 other guys raised their hands, and I was like, "So does anybody want to talk about this?" And people kind of got upset about that. Like they were like, "Why are you at like go
Yeah.
fuck yourself? You don't own the dive." I was like, "Well, all right, just letting
saying,
you
maybe
know."
you-
There's a show, and if the guy in the first match does a dive, and the guy in the second match does a dive, then maybe the third and fourth dive people aren't going to be too interested in, and you might want to change it. No.
You
know
do
wrestling.
different dives
You-
or something, yeah.
Yeah. All right. It is time for our main event, which means that it's time for the best hour.
Our favorite hour?
Could it be?
The Troy McClure Hour. Oh, hello there. I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such major life events as therapy. Yesterday's memories are today's trauma. Or therapy again. I'm less confident in it this time. Today, we're here to talk about how badly these guys need therapy. All right, so I think this may be the first time it is a very short two-man main event.
Oof.
So Brian Christopher, a.k.a. Brian Lawler, began wrestling, because believe it or not, we already talked about him once, began wrestling in 1988, and according to the internet, at this time, Brian Christopher's first televised match was against Cowabunga, the clear-cut Ninja Turtles ripoff in 1990 from the USWA. I don't know what else to talk about at this point because I've already given you a brief career history, so I'm just going to let you know that the first time that he faced someone who would be considered someone that we consider as a famous person is in 1991 when he fought the man named Samu, who later went on to be known as Sabu.
Oh! He was in the main event? The opener.
Yeah.
Should have been the main event.
And then also, if for whatever reason you don't consider Sabu famous enough, I will just go ahead and tell you go F yourself by saying maybe you will prefer his famed opponent from 1991, where he fought the Sandman. You cool surfer dude, who later changed his gimmick to the Sandman.
The name didn't make sense for either gimmick.
No, I didn't. He also won the USWA heavyweight title in February of 1992 and unified it with the USWA Southern heavyweight title, which he then lost 6 months later. And next, Scott Hall. You know him by many names. The Real Outlaw, Razor Ramon, the Diamond Stud, Gator, Starship Coyote,
Hold on there. What?
or Texas Scott.
Starship Coyote.
That was his first gimmick, yeah.
Oh,
He began wrestling in 1984, but unless you are familiar with the 6'5" 410-pound black New Japan pro wrestler from 1986 named Super Mario Man, then Scott Hall had 14 televised matches before he finally had an opponent that you will recognize when it was American Starship versus Black Bart and James J. Dillon.
Ooh,
J.J. Dillon, yeah. In 1984 for Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, which was a part of the National Wrestling Alliance. Yeah. I was actually kind of surprised to see that Scott Hall had wrestled a match against James J. Dillon.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the time frame of J.J. Dillon's wrestling career like
He
that.
must have been right on the outs.
Yeah.
I was surprised this was the main event. Like, where it came up. The way they were promoting that X Division match, I was like, oh, I guess this is the main event.
Is this like a Scott Hall just has the pull thing? Like Scott Hall just has the whatever in his contract to make sure he's main event?
I guess. Or it might be like a presumption thing. Like, well, Scott Hall has the draw. Let's not. If we put him on first, people are gonna bounce.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's put him on last. People stick around and watch the show. Segment 13. Brian Lawler enters to chants and signs of Jerry's Kid. Brian grabs the mic and gives us some Jerry Lawler facts. Number 1, Jerry Lawler has been married 3 times, and all 3 times his wife was younger than Brian. Yep, commentary asks how Brian's own mother could have been younger than him.
Aha! He's an unwed bastard, baby! Gotcha! Wasn't his wife.
Ah. Wait, that doesn't...
Yeah, because his 3 wives can be younger than his son because his mother wasn't one of his wives.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
His
I see
mother
what
was
you're
never
saying.
married to him. Yeah.
I see, yes. Okay, all right.
She was just some rat.
Technicality.
Which explains why he is so rat-like.
Boom! Fact number 2! Brian got a ticket for Jerry Lawler, but he didn't come to the show because Jerry's at the local high school with candy on Wednesdays. Ferraro wants to know what type of candy works.
Yo.
My favorite part about this is that they don't discredit it or say that he's making up lines. They just go, all right, we don't need to know about this. And I was like, wait, what? Why are they treating this like it's the truth?
Don't tell us that.
Yeah.
This ain't the truth hour. Get out of here with that. And then fact number 3 is interrupted by Scott Hall's music, but Brian tells them to cut the music, and he's going to continue his rant as Scott Hall sneaks through the crowd and into the ring behind Brian Lawler. Yo, but Brian hams it up for like another 3 minutes or something. Like, yo.
This killed me.
It was over 2 minutes.
Oh, was it? I actually didn't.
I did actually time it.
It killed me.
Yeah,
Right? It's got, you hate it, right?
I hated it.
Yeah.
Well,
Way too
it's
long.
annoying because you already had the over part where you're like, all right, I hate your guts, get ready to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't happen. And then Hall just stands there rocking back and forth on his toes like a goon.
Until he gets so bored that he eventually stops. And,
Yeah.
and that's when Brian Christopher turns around. When he's finally like, all right, I'm just going to fucking stand here because I'm tired of it.
I'm blown up already.
So I don't know. Is this like Brian Christopher being like, I'm going to be a dick and just not turn around?
I thought it might have been a rib.
Yeah.
Or is he like, yo, is Scott Hall going to grab me and spin me to punch me? Or
Yeah, I
what?
couldn't tell. I couldn't tell because he was doing like the whole gamut. Like,
Yeah.
what does this mean? We're going to a rodeo?
I thought that might have been it. I was like, okay, this is finally it.
The
When he was doing the
turnaround.
whole turnaround thing,
Here's
I
the
thought that was
turnaround.
it.
That's the trigger, Scott. Grab
But
my
it
shoulder,
didn't
spin me
have-
around.
Went on for another minute after that.
Yeah. And that was the start of the segment. It killed it.
Yeah.
So eventually Brian turns around and gets punched. Hall punches him around the ring, then around the ring side, then around the arena. Brian, this blew my fucking
I
mind.
couldn't understand it.
I couldn't understand what happened here. Brian grabs a bag from the crowd and nails Hall in the face with it, and then the bag just disappears.
Throws it back and no one was concerned. Was it a
No.
plant?
Yeah.
Or...
I honestly looked because I was like, is there someone like peeking over the apron? Like, wait, where's my purse?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know where he got it from. I don't know where it went.
it definitely looked like he just grabbed a purse from the crowd.
Yeah, but it was like...
But he also swung it
Oh.
from, like, the strap. So whatever's in there is, like, broken.
Yeah, I mean, luckily this is pre-good cell phone error, so...
Yeah, well, the thing is, too, is it looked so big that it didn't look like a purse. It looked like a baby sack, like full of, like, bottles and, like, Pampers or something. I was like, what? Who brought a baby? It was 100%, like, no mercy N64. He just reached in the crowd, pulled out an oversized copy of The Rock's book, hit him with it, and then threw it back in the crowd, and nobody cared.
It's funny because I thought of the same thing when he was just punching him around the arena and then he sold up onto the table randomly and he was still punching him and selling it. And I was like, this seems like N64 or something.
Dude, honestly, but I'll save it, but
It was the whole match
Goodness.
was like a video game. It was like a
Yeah.
poorly scripted video game. To point out, I start focusing on the crowd. There's some guy in the crowd that has a sign that says Brian Christopher stole my clothes. Don't admit that. don't admit that he's wearing stuff you would have been wearing.
yeah.
And you want them back.
Yeah, don't
You
say that.
paid for that stuff.
Yeah, at least for Brian, it was free.
Yeah.
Mid-match, Brian grabs a mic and says, anyone who says Jerry's kid can kiss Jerry's kid's ass.
Just trying to start his own chant. I hate him.
I know.
I hate him.
Hall hits a fallaway slam, followed by a super backdrop suplex, and calls for the outsider's edge. But Crush comes out to distract, but it doesn't matter. Hall still hits the outsider's edge anyway and gets the 3. Post-match, back in the ring, Crush attacks, and then Brian and Crush use Crush's belt to crotch Hall, and then Crush hangs Hall outside of the ring. Kinda. Hall plays along.
Yeah.
And then Hall, after a couple of minutes, Hall gets put on a stretcher
I got again.
Yeah. and wheeled up the ramp right as paramedics come to the ring and they help him out. And right at the end, we notice one more paramedic walking out with a chair. It's Jeff Jarrett!
I thought it was the franchise. I couldn't tell who it was.
He smashes everyone. Tanae actually yells, "Paramedic my ass! That's Jeff Jarrett!" and we just get this revolving door, like revolving line, conveyor belt of like people come out and he smashes them with a chair, and then people come out and he smashes them with a chair, and then people come out and he smashes them with a
As hard as he can.
Dude, there had to have been like 15 bodies at the end of the segment.
He bruised so many forearms.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And that just sort of happens until it ends. Promo length 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Yeah, that was a good like 3 minutes of him just not turning around that 5 minutes. Match length 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Post match length 3 minutes and 35 seconds. And then full segment was 19 minutes and 1 second. You guys have any thoughts about this?
Promo was way too long. It killed it for me.
Yeah. This has no right. Like, why is this the main event? Brian Christopher shouldn't be in the main event. His promo's trash. I hate Hall selling. I think Hall sells like shit.
Right.
Hall sells like a big, tall, drunk guy he's too lazy for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's those type of punches where like someone hits you and you just kind of like move a little bit and go, and then stand there and wait for the next punch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's every shot he takes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so like he is hunched over with his jaw sticking out, ready for the next shot, and his arms down, going, hit me again, hit me again, and it's rough to watch.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, I guess my my memory was fuzzy. Like, I remember Hall being like horribly out of shape,
Right.
but he looks okay in this. You know, he's not in horrible shape, but I feel like, what was it, a year earlier or a year later where he does the WWE NWO thing?
Oh, okay, yeah.
It like wasn't that far apart where he does the big return, and he was like way doughier and way rougher shape.
Yeah.
What is Brian Christopher's gimmick?
Well,
Because last week he put on the goggles and was like, nah, fuck these goggles.
yeah.
And he has the goggles back on again. And he actually tried to use them again and didn't try to take them off when he tried to do the hip hop drop. So he's changing his name to Brian Lawler.
Yeah.
And he's still dressing as Grandmaster Sexy.
Yeah. And like his jacket is like the still it's like too.
Yeah, it's
I
too
think
cool
it says
thing.
too cruel instead of too cool.
Yes, but it's clearly just like a K and an R on top of the C.
Yeah.
It's so.
I don't get what his gimmick is. Does it work on us?
And then I'm almost positive on his jacket it has the Roman numeral 2.
Mm.
And then it says cool, so he wrote too cruel.
Ah.
And then on his leg it has, I think, the number 2 and cool, COOL. So he replaced the 2 and wrote no cool.
Oh my gosh.
Like it's no chill or something. Like I don't.
Too cruel, no cool. All school, empty pool,
Bag of drool.
bag of drool. Now who's the fool?
Clearly you.
Yeah, it's me, because I just watched Brian Christopher work a match.
Yo, yeah.
I'm the Rube.
Yeah. My thoughts about this whole thing. I have no thoughts about the match, but storyline wise, like Jeff Jarrett is both very clearly a justified victim taken to the edge by conspiracy,
Yeah.
and an unhinged madman that needs to be put down for everyone's safety. Like he is both a hero and a villain right now.
I don't remember if it was this match or the previous match he was in, but I like how when K Crush at the end of the match just starts taking his belt off, and Don West is like, he's taking his pants off. What's going on here? I don't understand.
It's the only time you take your belt off. The pants follow. All right. So bell to bell to bell to bell to bell to bell to bell. 51 minutes and 45 seconds of wrestling on this hour and 51 minute and 9 second show.
They keep doing that.
They do. They have, it's like a consistent minute wise comparison there between wrestling and non-wrestling, where it's 50 something of wrestling and an hour of just everything else. Walking to the ring.
Goldie being a bitch.
Goldie, yeah. Getting called a bitch and hating her life. Holy shit, that poor woman. She's so indifferent to it, too. People are like, shut up, bitch. And she's like, here we go again.
Well, at least I'm getting paid.
I guess, yeah. All right, yeah. Do you guys have any like thoughts on the whole show?
Other than it being backwards,
Yeah.
I'm kind of upset that I didn't get more from what's her name, Shamrock's sister. What's her name?
Oh, Alicia.
Alicia. Yeah, they didn't give me more of that.
Yeah.
They even gave it with Amori last time. Like,
Right,
you
when
didn't
it-
give me anything.
That's
I
because
wanna
you just
know.
want the payoff.
I
Yeah.
want to know what it is.
Yeah, I didn't. The show was just not. It wasn't very good. It was confusing.
Yeah.
Every segment left me confused. First off, which is not good.
They're starting more storylines. A lot of them aren't finished.
This was arguably the worst episode so far.
With a lot of good wrestling, though.
But yeah, strangely enough, despite it being the best wrestling show, it was the worst show. And then one of the problems with the wrestling I have is that of the wrestlers that do know how to work the crowd, not a single one of them knows where hard cam is.
Mhm.
None of them do. And then also, every single promo was someone either complaining about or harassing women.
Yes. Face or heel.
It was like 51 minutes of wrestling. You
Yeah,
said?
51 wrestling. Just pure wrestling, 51 minutes.
Yeah. What drives
Well,
me
I
nuts?
should clarify, 51 minutes of bell-to-bell time.
Yeah.
So,
What drives me nuts is like all the non-wrestling, most of it is totally useless. Isn't setting up a storyline,
Yeah.
or if it is doing it in like a backwards way, like a wasted way. You know, I mean, you do all the stuff with AJ and Jerry Lynn, but at this point, between the last 3 shows, they've had like a dozen segments. How many people are not doing anything?
right.
And Francine gets to come out, or Jasmine gets to come
Yeah.
out every week to like roll around. She wanted to take off her top, but now this time the girl is gonna take off her top, and she doesn't like it.
No.
But we're gonna do this for 10 minutes, and then do a DDT, and then here come the EMT. Like, how many times do the EMTs get called? How many times does it end with a brawl?
Yeah.
And it's totally inconsistent because, again, Norman Smiley almost gets murdered, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, look, if I was this guy's wife, I'd run out there, but otherwise,
Yeah.
But then Scott Hall every week gets beat up, put on a stretcher, and then Jeff Jarrett knocks out 50 people with a chair.
No. And then even the characters they're presenting to us, their motives are inconsistent. Where Jasmine St. Clair's like, I want to get naked. And everyone's like, yeah. And then Francine rips her clothes off and she's like, no.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Puppet, I want to kill midgets because they're stealing my light. Literal midget wrestler getting the camera in front of him, stealing the focus.
There's nothing about it.
You
Walks
just
away.
walk by in the background.
No big deal, yeah.
He was the winner. It's not like he was a sore loser, like walking off with an injury. He won. He was fine. There's no excuse for him not to do it.
Yeah. That's the problem with this show. Confusion.
Yeah.
That is 100% what my thoughts about this show. And then it doesn't get any better when we ask the question, why would you make this? Well, because this is what they set up. This is them pulling the trigger on the storylines they've set up. I don't know how loaded the gun is, but they are pulling that trigger, dude.
I don't know if it's like, well, we can't do Hall versus Jarrett. We gotta save that. We gotta save, this guy versus... Like, I don't know if it's like, we gotta save the good stuff for when we're
No.
established.
No, they're not saving anything.
Yeah,
There's no way they're saving
Yeah.
anything. I'm not saving money, I'll tell you that. So, it's, yeah. Yeah, and then it gets hard at this point when we say, let's guess the card.
Oh.
I mean, we have some matches down here that we know. It's already been established. Yes, Sabu will fight Ken Shamrock in a ladder or submission match.
Who chooses?
No. It is a match
Oh.
where the belt is on top of the ladder, like on hanging, and you can get it by pulling down, like climbing the ladder and get it down, or by submission. Yeah,
I think they called it a ladder versus submission match.
it's regardless. It's got to be the worst NWA heavyweight title match in history. It has to. I haven't seen it, but it's got to be. It has to be. There's no way it's gonna be good.
It's going to be, I already see it. Ankle lock as he's trying to climb up. Brings him down with the ankle.
Right?
I already see it.
Ankle lock, grabs a chair, hits him. He lets go of the ankle lock, but he's unfazed by the chair.
See it all.
Yeah.
Jerry Lynn and AJ Styles must defend their titles next week, they said.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
During, I think at the end when they were doing the
So
ladder
who
spot,
do we
they
have
were like, we
for
have
them
to defend it.
against?
Didn't say, just that they have to
But
defend.
that's what I'm saying. Who do we have? There's Rainbow Express still around? Maybe them?
Flying Elvises.
They're the X Division.
But they're also tag teams. Although they don't really seem to want to be a tag team anymore. Although there's three of them and one of them wasn't there, so.
Well, yeah, but the Flying Elvises won their tag match this week. They won their tag match last week. Like, why wouldn't they be?
Because they've been promoting the X Division.
And they got attacked by the Dupps, right?
They did.
So they're probably going to do something.
So they'll do something with the Dupps. So who's the tag team? Are we going to put Daniels and Skipper, the losing tag team?
Well, they've done that consistently so far, so. And then also they said we were going to have an X Division competition.
Oh, okay.
So there's just going to be another, like, who's the new number one contender?
I guess. Like, I can't imagine Styles is going to have another match. Not after, with, like, a lot of stuff's going to happen that
they'll
Lynn
do
match.
the tag match and take a week off the X Division title.
Yeah.
I'll be hoping for a Monty Brown match.
You're hoping for Monty Brown. Well, I mean, he might have a match, but he's not going to get his world title match that he asked for because Sabu's having that.
He's not, like, he hasn't even appeared. Like, so.
He did the jobber match. That was it.
That was last week, right?
Yeah, were you here for that? That was before you.
Yeah.
You didn't see Monty Brown wrestle yet?
No.
No, yeah, he had one jobber match.
Yeah, so then he was off last week. Yeah. He's totally off. Not even a promo.
No, yeah.
So how does that make any sense? Why?
Yeah, I can't answer that question, but it's apparently a possibility.
You're even talking about the guy in the title picture, and you're just gonna we'll take 2 weeks where we don't even acknowledge his existence. No promo, no nothing.
Yeah.
At least James Mitchell didn't get 5 segments.
No, Jeff Jarrett got it instead.
Yeah.
James
Mitchell got one where he gave away the number one contendership. Hey, we have a number one contendership. Let's just offer it up. We're good guys like that.
Okay. Yeah, the corrupt cult. They must be the good guys.
Yeah, they're honorable.
Maybe another Miss TNA thing, because that thing's really starting to
What is that?
That's
She's
what
Miss
I mean.
TNA already.
It's really pointless.
Does she defend it?
Are we gonna do a thing with it yet or not?
I haven't seen her. 2 other girls are fighting for some
And
reason.
then also, if Storm and Harris don't show up, they're dead.
They're retired now.
They got beat up, and we haven't seen them in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's on the level of flour to the back of the head, Dad. They're down and out.
Yeah, I think next episode will be 3 weeks that we haven't seen them. Which
will they be the ones getting a title shot?
That wouldn't make sense considering they've
been out for weeks.
Yeah, and then they also didn't finish the what was it, the tag team title tournament. So they're contenders ish, but they're not because they haven't been winning. Yeah, I really don't know for a fact what's going to happen next week, except what they've told us, which is Sabu versus Shamrock, Styles and Lynn versus somebody.
There's a good chance
divisions.
They're going to change those matches anyway.
Yep.
Oh, we told you Sabu versus Shamrock, but what had happened was...
Ooh, it's been a while since I heard that excuse.
Goldie will explain it in the back. Oh, God!
Yeah.
I'll send you to a recap video that explains it. Yeah, so that's it's a mystery. It is a full-on mystery what the next show is going to be. I have no idea. I don't know. I have already explained to us on the last episode that we will not see the Dupps wrestle again, so...
Oh, right.
They're not showing up again. We can already say that it's not going to be them.
Yeah, I'm going to say Flying Elvises versus Jerry Lynn and AJ.
Then, I mean, yeah, maybe, but then that really ruins my prospect of who's going to fight Storm and Harris. I guess Daniels and Skipper.
Yeah.
They only have 3 teams, huh?
It'll probably be Storm and Harris.
Storm and Harris versus Storm and Harris?
They'll get there. Yeah.
It wasn't me and Bart.
Storm and Harris get the title shot.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's
because they got screwed out of their title shot, so this is their title shot.
Yeah, the show was so confusing. I have no idea what's happening next show, and I'm not enthused about it. I don't want you're not confirming to me that there's an Alicia next show, so I have to tune in to watch it. You're not confirming to me
I want to know
that there's gonna be more if that's drawing me in titties, you're not confirming titties next week, so I'm not showing up.
Oh yeah, titties weren't even confirmed.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Join us next week for just confusion, because I don't know what's gonna happen. I cannot, at this point, we cannot confirm that Sabu and Shamrock will actually fight each other. They might just scrap it.
I forgot Shamrock was the champion.
Right? Because he didn't even have the title on him when he was walking through the park.
He should be walking around with that belt everywhere.
I would. I mean, I'd probably get jumped a lot, but I would.
Not if you're Mr. Fight.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't even see what a lackluster episode. We didn't even get Mr. Fight this episode.
I got it in right
It
there.
was just Ken walking through a park. Park time Ken.
He almost unleashed Mr. Fight on Goldie, that bitch.
Well,
Well,
no,
no,
not on
everybody
Boldy,
else.
on everyone else. Which, again, the park was pretty empty, so
Yeah.
it would have basically just been the cameraman.
Well, because he was storming around, everyone left.
All right. Yeah, so that was it. Join us next time if you feel so inclined. I don't know if they've sold you this show that well for you to want to join it up.
This
But
was like one of the
really
worst
was-
shows.
really
Like,
was.
that's it. The same thing you said. It was great wrestling, but the show was just so
easily
weird and
one of the
bad.
worst shows. Yeah. All right, so yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, consider giving us a like or a 5-star review, or just sharing us with your friends. Like I said,
Share.
put our names in boxes and give those boxes to foxes.
You'd be surprised how well that works.
Yeah.
Try it before you deny it.
And then the intro music is, of course, Falling Off Your Love by Kill Paris. So for Brother Skylar and J Delta, I am Jimmy Time. Please remember that without the mistakes of others, we would be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts. The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.